there was an investigation going on, and actually 20 people got taken in. They came, busted in my house. There was nothing in my house, but I had a shotgun. That was it. They arrested me. Next thing you know, I'm in the precinct getting charged with conspiracy. I go to court. I was indicted on major traffic.
Yeah. So, did you plead guilty yet?
Yeah, actually I did before, because I didn't know how anything worked, and I started doing research, and I stumbled into all this information. Now I'm just a beginner at it, but yes, I did plead not guilty. I actually even have a lawyer on the matter.
So you pled guilty?
No, not guilty.
Oh, I pled not guilty.
Yes.
Why don't you say, okay, if you believe I'm guilty, who says I'm guilty?
No, I pled not guilty. I don't know if you heard me.
I'm just saying, when you went to court, why don't you just say, who says I'm guilty?
Well, I had a lawyer present, so I couldn't speak.
Why don't you just say, okay, well, I'm sure, you had a lawyer. Said, ask the lawyer. Say, who says that this man's guilty?
I didn't know to say that.
What?
I didn't know I should have said that.
What do you mean didn't know to say that? If when you were 3 years old, who said I stole that rubber band? Who threw that spitball at the teacher? Who said I stole those light bulbs? Who said I painted a cat? Who said that? Who said I've done wrong? Why don't you just ask?
Yeah, I should have. I didn't. Made the mistake. Now
you're a little kid. What do you mean you don't know? Well, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know to do it? You told me when you're 4 or 5 years old. If somebody said that you did something, it's like you say, yeah, and so what? So I went out and I flew a kite today, yeah, and I kicked a can across the road, yeah, and I took my bicycle and I trafficked some bubble gum from point A to point B, yeah, and so what?
I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can do about it.
Why don't you just ask?
What? Just ask?
Why don't you just ask? Why don't you just ask? Who's the man or woman here saying I've done something wrong? What do you think they're going to say? What do you think they're going to say?
Couldn't even tell you. I'm not sure.
What do you think they're going to say? Take a guess. You think they're just going to sit there stupid like you and just be silent? No, they're going to say something. When you say to the attorney, why don't you stand up? Hey, I got an easy question. Who said I've done something wrong? Well, what man or woman is going to come forth and say I've done something wrong? Anybody going to come forth today and say I've done something wrong? Who do you think will step up and say that you've done wrong?
They're going to probably say the officer said, I said,
what man or woman? They have dogs that are canine officers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog's going to come up? He sniffed the drugs, and he said, oh, that officer, he's going to bark once for yes and twice for no. What, are you going to start barking at the dog, going woof, 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 woof? And the dog said, woof. Oh, okay, the dog said I've done something wrong. What officer? No man's going to step forward and say you've done something wrong. Who's going to say you've done something wrong?
And that's the whole thing. Like I'm being drugged into this whole spider web just because I know someone.
By the way, you're a 4-year-old kid. Did you kick that can across the street? Yeah. Who's it to you? Who's saying I've done something wrong? You'd say that when you're 4 or 5 years old. You say, yeah, and so what? So I kicked the can, and so I trafficked fucking drugs. If that's what you believe, fine. Who's saying that's wrong? Why don't you just ask?
Would it be too late to ask that, or?
Oh, it's always good to ask. It's always good to challenge jurisdiction. Just ask. That's a simple question. And when you realize the answer is so simple, and they'll say, nobody's saying you've done anything wrong. And then maybe a light bulb will start clicking in your fucking head. That it used to click in your head when you're 5 years old, but somewhere along the line you fucking forgot. pretty simple. Life's really simple. You just made it too damn complicated. I said that a billion times on my show. Went to England and said, yeah, everything that these people that you say that they've done was illegal, okay. Guilty? I'm sure they are. And you wouldn't waste all the valuable court resources and time and put that great big huge stack of paper in front of the court if you didn't believe it was true. And? So what? Make it five charges. Make it 5,000 charges. Make it 5 million. Make it 5 trillion charges. So what? Lovely. And? Who cares? See, that's like I said, because maybe you could say, well, see, that's because Carl's from New York and he's a guy and he's an oldest son. Carl always had, who gives a shit about your opinion and the attitude? That's right. I don't give a shit. Peer pressure don't bother me. Like I said, I look like somebody that fell off a 1970s Cardi Shark advertisement. I look, I look like I fell out of 1975. I didn't give a damn. I didn't keep up appearances. I didn't follow the trends. I didn't get into disco. I didn't start wearing leisure shoe suits. I didn't slick my hair in the 1980s. I didn't wear hairspray. I found a comfortable spot, and that's where I stood. I understood life. Life was simple. I don't got to improve. I don't got to go get any more complicated. This is good. By the time I was 10, 11, 12 years old, I pretty well had it figured out. Who are you to say I've done something wrong? I've done something wrong? How much do I owe you? Well, you don't owe me anything. Okay, then what do you want from me? You know, I owe you a debt. Have I done something wrong? Well, you kicked the can. Oh, you kicked the can. Oh, you trafficked in narcotics. Oh, so I trafficked in narcotics. So I trafficked a package of bubble gum. Yeah, and I trafficked a roll of gold. Yeah, and oh, you can't possess gold. Now, the United States government says all the gold's got to be turned into the U.S. Treasury. The only problem is, what man in the United States government's going to tell me that? No man. Some guy who's an officer, maybe, or somebody with a title or a rank or a position will, but he'll never talk to me man to man. No man will ever talk to me. And I don't listen to titles. I don't listen to ranks. I don't listen to treaties. I don't listen to aardvarks. I don't listen to constitutions. I don't listen to charters. I don't listen to codes. I just listen to my fellow man. Because you only have a duty and obligation to communicate with. Other than that, let me be. Everything else, man controls. Everything else, man created.
Yeah, that's what I'm just starting to learn, man.
Yeah. Once you start acting like a man, your life will be a lot simpler.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty simple. And life's very, very, very simple. That's why, to me, doing these calls, I say to Gus, man, it's like, thank God I'm doing it now at night. I don't feel bad because I'm inside the house. But, man, I felt terrible during the daylight talking this ridiculous nonsense all the time. I said it at 171 shows, 172 shows. This is ridiculous. Same message, same thing, all the time. Last week, man, I exploded on that lady because I told her to do something, and she couldn't be bothered to do it, but she was too lazy.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I said, you go down to that church? She was like, no, I made some phone calls. I said, that's it. You're too effing lazy. I'm done. So I think, Gus, did you talk to her during the week, or was she on some Skype group and something like that?
Somebody told me that she went down and got the kid baptized, but I didn't hear a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it was Vital again who told me that. He was like, yeah, the woman went down. She's working with the church. The church says they're going to find him a home. She got the hell out of the state of Florida, and she's going to get the kid baptized, or she got the kid baptized. But see, if I just coddled that lady, and I said to her last week, she's like, well, I made some phone calls, and the church wouldn't help, and they told us to go to a soup kitchen. I was like, bullshit, that's not what I told you to do. What the hell did I tell you to do? Why did I waste 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 hours of my week? Why did I waste my valuable time? And that's why I let Gus upload the phone calls, so you guys can see how many hours I waste. I waste talking to people. Because I waste whatever little hours I got left on planet Earth, I'm wasting them. Talking to people who's going to do whatever the damn well they please anyway. Who's not going to do what I say. And then I don't have the right to get pissed off and say, look, you wasted my time. You gave me absolutely no money, nothing, no medium of exchange, nothing. And all I asked you to do, no, I didn't ask you. I told you, if this is how you want to keep this kid, this is what you got to do. So, no, you're going to do whatever the hell you want. F you, lady. F this. I'm done. So then, like I said, at least she got off her ass. She went down, actually went to a church. The church said, fine, we'll help you find a home. You know, they're going to baptize the kid, and they got the hell out of the state. But if I just talk sweetie pie to her, like I was from freaking California, and kumbaya, and said, oh, well, let's all just have a group hug here and talk really nice to her and actually start giving us more like law advice or legal advice or something. But why? It's falling on deaf ears. She's going to do whatever the hell she wants anyway. I could have spent fucking 50 hours, 50 years talking to her. And she's going to do whatever the hell she wants anyway. The only thing that this lady understood is like, look, I'm effing through with you. Don't do what I effing tell you to do and lose the effing kid. I don't effing give a shit. And then guess what? Like magic, she does everything I told her to do. Once she realized, I ain't going to be there no more. Then all of a sudden she's like, you know, I think this guy's really pissed. No, I'm not pissed. I just don't give a damn anymore. And if you don't want to do it, don't. I don't effing care. So like I said, at least she got off her ass and started doing it. It might seem harsh the way I do things, but that's the only way I know it works. You can't coddle people. You can't say, well, you know, you got to do better next time, little Susie. You got to get off your lazy ass that don't work anyway, and you know, and you really need to go down and knock on a door, and you know, eventually I know you get the kid baptized probably when he's 37, 38 years old, maybe. No, F you, lady. You know, you got to do it. You got to do it now. You want to dick around? Go dick around with somebody else. Go waste somebody else's life. Go waste somebody else's time. So, like I said, the stuff is so simple. It's scary. Like I said, I explained that all last week about a secular society, and what I was trying to say that faith-based organizations. Like I said, I'd rather have my kid going to some Islamic or some Hindi or some, you know, Hebrew school than going to any public school. At least to me, they have some sort of faith-based orientation that they're going to start steering the kid towards some sort of a deity other than a centralized government. That there's a hierarchy, and it has absolutely nothing to do with who's the president of the United States. It has nothing to do with birth certificates or social security numbers. And, you know, so like I said, you know, this is what I was hoping for, that, you know, that people would start understanding. When I was trying to tell this lady, I said, upload this. Tell this lady to go seek out a church. Become one of their members. Become part of their family. Once you get baptized into it, you're a member of their family, and they're not going to let you down. So become part of it and see where this goes. Become part of a community. Stop being an army of one. Start getting together as a group. Start getting together as a people. Because, like I said, it's just like what happened back in the 70s when they had that, what was the name of that big political party that came out now? It's the Tea Party. The other one was what was it called, Gus, man? The people who came out and said that all any kind of Christian denominations, they all joined together and put Ronald Reagan into the White House. Not the Right to Life, it was another one.
I wasn't paying attention back then.
You were licking ice cubes. I was eating snowballs.
I was playing hockey.
Yeah, well, after I'm saying, that's how you play. Well, I'm not going to say. You wanted more time on their face on the ice than play. I wasn't going to teach you about that. But no, but I'm trying to remember what was that huge group, that huge wave that came up because people had it up to here with the 1960s wacko nonsense, hippie, trippy stuff. And
Angela said Christian Coalition?
Yeah, that's it. The Christian Coalition sprung up. So like I said, because the whole world seemed like it was going into this trippy, hippie, 60s nonsense. And the normal Joe and mom and pop got scared. So they all started joining all kinds of faith-based organizations again. And then that's when that Christian Coalition came around. And that's what got Ronald Reagan into the White House, was the Christian Coalition. And then what was that? I remember I had it on my website for the longest time, is the United States government passed a law that the United States government recognizes and believes in God. So I forgot what act it was in some, whatever, the 37th, session of Congress, whatever, whatever the year was. It was during the Ronald Reagan years. It was during like 1985, 87. Actually had it up there for the longest time, that Congress recognizes God, that God does exist, that there is a one, there is a hierarchy, and that the United States government understands that it is under the control and jurisdiction of God. So it's like, okay, people, if the United States government recognizes it, and you could just throw that in their face when you go to court, it's like, look, you recognize the belief of God, right? A hierarchy, right? You believe in it, right? Your government does believe in it, right? Yeah. Nobody's ever repealed this law, right? Right. Okay. I'm in the image of God. Now what you say? You're saying I'm not, or you're saying I am. So what is it going to be, the United States government? What man's going to step forward and say I'm not? Show me. Because your government actually recognizes that in your own law. Like I said, I'm sure some smart guy on this show is going to actually put a link up to it and say, what was the session of Congress back in the 80s that recognized that God exists? But like I said, it was that Christian coalition, who were, I guess, like people like me, who said, no, we are going to go together. We're going to go to Washington, D.C. and tell all these damn senators and all these congressmen, we voted for you. We believe in God. You will believe in God, too. You will recognize the people's belief in a God, and you will put it on law, and you will put it in writing, and you will sign it. Because you represent us. This is who we are as a people. We are a godly people, and this nation will live under the rule of God, whether you like it or not. And they had to put it into law. I think Patrick Moynihan was the head of the Senate at the time because he was a Democrat from New York, and I know he must have been spitting nails having to sign that damn thing. But he was like the leader of the House. But like I said, I don't remember what the law was, but for the longest time, man, it was on the website. So this is what I'm trying to convince you people. Like, look, man, a godly land, man, he will prevail because the United States government actually recognizes the existence of God because the people demanded it. The people demanded that the United States government, their servants, show in law the beliefs of the people that they represent. So, yeah, it looks like Alan's there. Gus, why don't you...
Really quick, Carl. So should I try to rescind my plea? Being that since I already entered the not guilty plea?
Dude, who said rescind your plea?
I didn't hear you.
Question. Just ask a simple question. Don't do anything. How about just ask him a question? Who's saying I've done something wrong? And start with that. Who's saying you've done something wrong? Do you know? No, you don't know. If somebody's coming after me, I want to know who said I've done something wrong. Like if somebody says, well, Carl's practicing law without a license. Okay, lovely. Who's saying I've done something wrong? No, the Secretary of State, Attorney General. Okay, he's got a name. His name's Bob. Okay, Bob, you're a man. Okay, you're going to come to court and stand man to man and say I've done something wrong? Well, no. Well, then what the hell do I care? This is a land of man. This ain't a land of code. What the hell do I care? You coming up with some sort of statutory code? Yeah, I don't speak legalese. I'm just going to evoke the right to call out any man in my court. And if you try to drag me into your court, I'm going to say, whoa, before I walk into that court, they got a man present? Well, no, well then, how could I appear? I only appear man to man.
I should definitely get rid of my lawyer, correct?
No, I didn't say get rid of your lawyer. Dude, you ain't got no effing clue what to even do. You knew more what to do.
That's why I'm here, and I'm asking.
That's why you keep a lawyer, because you have a freaking clue. You're just going to wind up going to jail if you get rid of that lawyer. You go to jail so fast it's scary. I saw some guy from Australia sent me some newspaper clippings today. He was some sort of security guard, and you have to have some sort of license to be a security guard in Australia. I guess probably because they carry a gun or something like that. And he let his lapse. So he's looking at 30 kinds of counts of being a security guard or, imitating that of a security guard without a license. And this guy's effing up big time in court. He sent me newspaper clippings, and it's funny. the way he reads the newspaper clippings, he's yelling out at the judge, things. Like, where's the injured party? Dude, what do you mean injured party? Why don't you just ask, who's the man who's saying I've done something wrong? Why don't you just ask him a simple question like that instead of saying, where's the injured party? Well, what kind of question is that? Where's the injured party? I don't know. I don't see a party. Let's go on with the proceedings.
Been waiting for that evidence for over 8 months, and I haven't got anything.
Okay, so I don't say anything about that. Why don't you just ask, who's saying I've done something wrong? And when they say nobody, then what are you going to say to them? What the fuck do you give a shit about evidence when nobody's saying you've done anything wrong? You're like, well, I haven't gotten evidence. I was like, okay, you know what? Why don't you call somebody else's show, and they'll tell you how to get the evidence that they are using against you. They who? I don't have an effing clue. Maybe you know who they are, but I certainly don't. Why don't you just ask them? What's the name of the man who's saying I've done something wrong? What man's going to come forward and say I've done something wrong? And say, well, no man's going to come forward. Well, I'm a man, right? Yeah, well, and I need to know what man I've done wrong to. Harm, injury, who? Well, nobody. Well, then you don't have a case. You don't have a case in common law. You don't have a case in my court. You don't have a case upon this land. There's a land of man. This is a godly land. And see, they're trying to make you guys think that any reference to God or any kind of faith-based organizations is silly because you guys are so freaking enlightened. You guys are so effing smart. Oh, they can't possibly. Oh, people who believe in God, they're so whimsical. Oh, they're so cute. They're like 4-year-olds and puppies. Oh, he said the word God. Oh, isn't he just freaking adorable? When we're so scientific and learned and we've got all the answers to every effing thing. And that man, oh, he's just so cute. Oh, I bet he's just going to start speaking Jesus Christ now. Oh, watch this. He's going to go Jesus Christ right on us. Oh, isn't this just effing lovely? No, I'll go Judeo on you. I'll go Christian on you. I'll go Islamic on you. I'll go any direction I think is relevant to get my point across. But thank God this is a land of man still and not a land of code. We're not a bunch of machines. We're not just punching in a time card and punching in a code card and saying, okay, you're going to get 300 demerits and you're going to get to sit in a box for 72 days and 16 hours and 17 minutes. It's not going to work like that. I don't want to be in a code land. Ridiculous. But that's the way the learned are doing. Like, look, it's so much more scientific and logical that we go into the code world. That we get away from the land of man, because man is so silly. Man is so, idiosyncrasies in this man. One day it's yes, the next day it's no. Look at a woman. One day she wants it blue, next day it's red. We can't get a consensus of anything. Forget about this. We got to make it all streamlined. We got to make it a one world order. We got to make it that no matter if you do something wrong in Vietnam or China or Guyana or Canada, you're all going to fall under the same penal code. Everybody knows around the planet Earth, if you do this, you're going to get the same justice. Justice is going to be fair, and everybody's going to be treated equal. Like, forget that. I don't want to be part of that. That's ridiculous. Oh, well, you don't want people to be treated fair and equal? Hell no. So I believe that sometimes there's mitigating circumstances why this guy is selling MMS drugs to try to get people healthy, and this other guy is selling some crystal crank meth fucking, rat poison shit just to fuck up people and make them, so he can make some money in his pocket. No, I don't think people who are pushing drugs should be treated equally. What kind of drugs are they benefit to mankind that just isn't FDA approved yet, or are they harmful to mankind? That the guy's just trying to scam over his fellow man and just trying to sell him poison that he knows is going to cause his fellow man harm. Of course not. I don't want to be all treated equal. It's ridiculous. What is the intent? What lies in that man's heart? So like I said, so it depends on what narcotics you were selling and who you were selling them to and why you moved so much and did the people that you sold them to want them. And so to me, every case is the same, but every case is unique.